Welcome, one and all, to a very special episode of the Lagerlogs Points of View with Tom and Stu. I'm Tom, he's Stu. Say hi, Stu, which is Danish for hi.
Hello!
Aww.
I don't follow your rules.
That. I should have expected that, you rebel. Guys, welcome to unofficially season 2, episode 0.5. A little warm up, a little pre-game workout. First of all, we'd like to say welcome back to all you beautiful boys and girls. We know you missed us. The hiatus is over. We're back from our holiday, but only Mel Gibson knows how I spent my summer vacation, and I stopped speaking to him ever since he said those nasty things about chickens. Yes, tonight we have a bit of a different show for you. We're covering a beer, we're covering a film, and the connection between the two is Mr. Mads Mikkelsen, Great Dane, sophisticated cannibal, and all-round lovely guy. So join us as we dive into the only beer with the main man's seal of approval, Carlsberg, and its new and improved recipe. And we're double teaming that with his turn in midlife crisis booze experiment dramedy. Another round from 2020. So lots of goodies coming up, listeners. So stick with us as we shake off the cobwebs and oil the joints. Mr. Stuart Sutherland, what's new, pussycat?
Oh, I fucking miss talking to you, Tom. It's been a while.
It's been too long. It's been too long. It's been too long since we've hit the record button. I mean, that virtual casting couch session from a couple of weeks ago obviously doesn't count. Did you prefer my back shaving routine or my reading from Othello? I'll do anything for the part. Clearly.
So yes, I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking.
That was kind of a roundabout way of asking you how you are, but
yeah,
thank
I could
you
see
for
you. I
delivering the
could see
answer.
you sort of veering off to the right, and I just quickly grabbed the wheel back
man.
onto the left.
Thanks, man. Kids, we don't endorse drink driving. Just put that out there.
Do you want me to drop some beer news on you?
Ooh, I would love you to drop some beer news on me. What have we got going down, man?
Well, it's Goose Island Brewery's latest collaboration with Cadburys.
Ooh,
and they have created a cream egg stout.
Get out of town!
Yeah, and it was
brand
like
new news to me.
Something I saw on Monday and thought, okay, moved on. Very next morning, like, what was it? Good Morning Britain. There they are. They're trying it. It's went viral because they thought of a fucking Cadbury cream egg beer. And to be honest,
perfect.
When I heard like Cadbury's cream egg beer, and I was like, it'll have to be a stout or it'll no fucking work. And it is. Because where else do you get all your fucking sweet shops just fucking blended into a brew?
In the darker area or darker beer area, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think, kind of a Bourneville lager would be a bit weird, to be honest. But I can see those particular elements going down or going together very, very well. Woo, I'm excited, man. Very excited. Is this available now? Can we get it?
I think so, yes. According to an article yesterday from thedrinksbusiness.com, Cadbury and Goose Island's collaboration on a cream egg beer reportedly sold out within an hour of being launched. And they're now...
promo copies are in the mail, though, right?
You thought the PlayStation 5 was fucking hard to get a hold of. Try and get your hands around this cream egg.
Wow, man, I'm excited. This is brilliant. I mean, just in time for Easter, I suppose. I'm guessing it's something they're launching now and then they're making available at a later date, or can we? Is it ready now to go in our mouths and souls?
I think so.
Add it to the list, my man.
Yeah, like Easter's about a month away. Try and get
very close.
The old cream egg stout for our Easter episode.
Let's do it.
Okay, that's it.
I'm ready.
We've said it. It's out there in the universe. The people have heard it.
Better deliver it now. Jeez, no pressure. It's just our careers on the line. That's all. No worries. Shit, if only we had backup podcasts.
Fuck them. Right. Beer. Hello, beer. Sitting there staring at me on this table.
It's looking over longingly at me, and I'm doing the same back at it. We have tonight, as I mentioned, is Carlsberg, the beer that we are discussing, and we're rolling with the premium export version, which from my knowledge is pretty much the exact same recipe as the standard version, but is a bit stronger at 4.8% in comparison to the standard version's 3.8% volume. But yeah, I don't know whether you know this, but the beer was revamped back in 2019 because it was probably not the best beer in the world, as they said up to that point. It was always known as cheap and cheerful lager, and I've had it enough in the past here and there to know I wasn't really a big fan. How about you, bud? Something you're familiar with?
No, I think maybe like when that's all they've got at a house party.
Yeah,
but
last resort.
No, I don't think I've ever really had a memorable occasion with Carlsberg until tonight.
Yes, that's what I like to hear, man. Dig in the enthusiasm. So, shall we let's stop. No more words. Let's dive in. Bottle openers at the ready. Go gadget.
Could I ask what size did you get? I got like the 660 ml.
I got exactly the same. So there's going to be no arguments about who's bigger tonight.
That's fine. We're both dedicated to not buying the multi-pack.
The multi-packs, yeah. I was a bit unsure. I can't remember whether I liked the newer version because I did have it on draft. I remember when it first relaunched.
Right.
And I was really impressed with the change recipe. So I'm hoping that I'm gonna feel the same now. But let's do it, man. Cheers.
Cheers. I have it poured. You're drinking it right for the bottle. You hound.
Pouring it into the lid. Don't worry, I'm doing it shot form tonight. Watching my figure.
The thing is, also, I haven't sampled it yet, but I remember originally our last fucking tango with Pilsners was Effe's, the Mediterranean beer.
Yes.
And it was
you had a
Bogan.
Fantastic time on that, didn't you? You had a great time. I remember that, mate.
So
you bought shares in the company after that, didn't you? I remember
very
you saying.
liquid beer tastes like.
That was.
And now I'm looking at it and it's like, God, I hope you. Maybe is this the Pilsner taste? But I'm standing there with the Carls-berg in front of me, thinking, will that overwrite that previous memory, or will it just enforce it? Let's find out.
Let's do it.
That's actually all right. With that dramatic pause there, we could have dropped like a sponsor's ad.
We wouldn't do something like that.
Like one of those ads that you think is going to be 30 seconds and you could skip it with your podcast app, but it's actually 60 seconds.
It's unskippable.
Aye.
And, we wouldn't say anything about, Stewart's Brewing because we don't, care about them and they don't care about us. So
I don't want to tell you what tumbler I'm drinking from tonight.
Oh.
Anyway. So this is actually quite a nice, light little number.
It's I'm pretty much, I think, on the same page as I was then when I had it back on draft. I'm quite impressed with the change recipe. Huge difference in both taste and quality, I would say. It's just nice. It's a bit more complex than it used to, or complex compared to the flavors that it used to have.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it does taste, as it says on the bottle, a bit more premium. I feel a bit more fancier drinking it, sitting here, smoking my pipe, in my dressing gown, on my lazy boy. That's that's our podcast. It's making me feel, it's adding to the class. I would say for sure. How about you, dude?
No, it is. It's definitely got a nice taste to it. It's always Tom,
Yes.
you're the more seasoned man than me when it comes to these here alcoholic beverages. What difference is a pilsner from your standard beer?
A pilsner is a particular type of lighter lager, and most of your favorite beers are brewed in the pilsner style. Most are kind of the big names that you could think of, but yeah, there's just a slight difference. I always think there's a slight kind of difference with the taste. It always seems like a bit more kind of crisper and kind of a bit
Aye.
more of a, I think bitterness would be the wrong word, but a bit more of a kind of
Yeah, it's not better, but
a flavor there, which is a bit more kind of stronger than your normal lager. I would say in
yeah.
terms of my own what I get from when I lip my what when I wrap my lips around the the bottle. That's
Go on,
what I
finish the
get.
sentence. Yep.
But but yeah, so it's a specific type of pale lager with just yeah, a bit more kind of hoppiness to it. I would say a bit more kind of spice to it, but
Aye.
not too overwhelming. Just kind of a little bit of an upgrade from your standard lager.
hmm So what you're saying is, don't fear the pilsner.
Don't fear the pilsner, no. And I do know people that don't really dig it because again, it's I suppose it's kind of a bit of a middle ground between your normal lager and your more kind of darker beers. And I think it's neither kind of here
It's a
nor
nice middle
there
ground.
really. Yeah, it's kind of a little bit of both. I think it's kind of and a lot of people I think just see it as it's not really here nor there. It's a bit of a kind of useless beer, but I completely disagree with that. And I think it's got its own kind of vibe and its own flavor. And yeah, I like it. And I just think it's if you're kind of thirsty, but you want something with a bit more of a flavor punch to it. I think it's a good selection
Yeah, that's it. I
to
like
to
how.
be as simple as possible about it
Mhm.
and
That,
straightforward.
that's it. They describe it on the back as what's it? Probably the best beer in the world. It's a shame they've not got like a 7 suggestion. What's a good Danish dish? That was difficult to say.
What's a good Danish dish? Dime bars? What they do with them? They melt them down.
Well, that would be a stout.
Some kind of like a
Sorry.
like a chocolate kind of soup kind of thing. I
hmm
don't know. What do you reckon?
Sure. I like a dime bar.
Mm. You like a dime bar?
Aye. Even when they
Mm.
changed the name.
Yeah, I wasn't a
It's like, oh
fan of
no,
it.
I went dyslexic. Something's gone wrong.
Yeah, it was kind of like the Mandela effect. Do you know what I mean? I'm thinking,
Mm.
what's happened? What's happened to my childhood? It was very, very, very confusing. But yeah, you could do like when you dip things into to chocolate, that kind of thing. You could do that with some dime bars. Just make a night out of it. A few pilsners. Just a nice romantic evening in with yourself.
That sounds like lockdown.
You know what I mean? Just start a fire, sing around a kumbaya. You could just sing it on, which is what I do, a nice kind of ice cream tub, wrap a few rubber bands around it, and you're pretty much, good to go. Just don't obviously flick your G string too hard, because it might come off.
Moving on.
You know what I mean? God.
That's it.
Oh, night scene.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I was too busy enjoying my beer there. He got off the rails.
You should be
It's
watching
like
me. What's
a
going
fish on the
on?
line. I'm reeling him back in. Go on. Let's talk about the film.
Let's. Well, did you want me to
Oh,
tell the
you got
fine
beer
people about
facts?
Carlsberg a little bit, just to kind of,
Yes.
fill
Yes,
people
please.
in? Yeah, so let's just quickly dive into a little history of the beer. The Carlsberg Group was founded in 1847 by Danish industrialist and philanthropist.
Mm-hmm.
Got there in the
Pissed.
end.
Yep.
Uh, don't think he was pissed when he made this, but maybe he should have been. Could have been more interesting. J.C. Jacobson, and named after his son Carl. They began exporting the beer a few years later in 1868. And fun fact of the day, their original logo contained a swastika, which was hastily removed when evil Buddhist Adolf Hitler saw it reflected in the mirror one day and used it for his Facebook cover photo. Today, Carlsberg has a bunch of different brews, including an Elephant Extra Strong 10.5% Pilsner, which sounds insane. And of course, the classic special brew. We all know it. We all love it. We all drink it on the bus. Is there any other reason to buy a day saver? No, there's not. So I mean, I'm gonna take another little shot of this. Beautiful. And while we enjoy our brewskis, let's dive into the main meat and potatoes of this very special episode. Our review of Another Round, aka Druk, from 2020, directed by Thomas Vinterberg, who had previously directed Mads and Thomas Bo Larsen, who also stars in the film 8 years before in Jagten, aka The Hunt, which I have not seen.
Oh yeah, that's gotten some acclaim to it.
I'd be very, tempted to jump on it after seeing how well this collaboration turned out between the three. So that's one on the to watch list. A quick summary of the film from IMDb. 4 friends, all high school teachers, test the theory that they will improve their lives by maintaining a constant level of alcohol in their blood. Simple as that. Fantastic premise, but does it deliver on it? Stu, initial brief summary of your thoughts, please.
Right away, I'm like, this is cinema.
Yes.
Like, this is a classy film, but it's a fun film. But fuck it, gets you.
Yeah, man.
That
was perfect.
It was one of those films where the very next day you have to tell fuck about it.
100%. Yeah, 100%, dude. I similar feelings to yours. I thought it was a beautiful little film. Has a lot to say on life and love and getting older, and while not perfect, is one I'm really looking forward to going back to see if I can kind of get a better grip on some of the stuff it was trying to say. But yeah, that's the thing that kind of hit me, was it just, this is what cinema's all about, it just kind of works on so many different levels. It's well written, it's funny, it's dramatic, it's sad, it's it gives you kind of that warm fuzzy feeling inside. It's what it's all about, man.
Absolute roller coaster of emotion.
Definitely. And if we haven't mentioned it, Mads has been the face of Carlsberg for some time now. That is the connection that we were working from tonight. Appearing in a run of fun little ads since 2017, and helped launch their 0.0% alcohol-free variant at the start of the year, which I did not know about. So yeah, he's still the ambassador to Carlsberg, and he's such an incredible actor. I mean, he had me tearing up in the first 20 minutes or so. So it might be I'm just a massive baby. I'm undecided at the moment. What's not undecided is talent as an actor. But yeah, it was one of those, like, I knew straight away. I was like, yeah, I think we're on to a winner here. But it's just such a fantastic setup, like such a kind of an original kind of premise to the film.
Yes.
And they really do deliver in terms of coming up with something that's very, very watchable, but also has a lot of depth to it.
That's it. Just the thought of, right, let's all just kind of top up the blood alcohol level, because it was some theory, not theory, but it is a theory where humans are born with 0.0, or they should have at least 0.05 alcohol blood level, and just kind of maintaining that level will just kind of vastly improve things. You'll be more relaxed. You'll be able to enjoy things more. You'll, I guess, be more outgoing, and you can kind of see where they're going. Like when you go out and you kind of like, I am clearly an introvert in like 90% of my life, but when you have a couple of beers, it switches around. You kind of become like a more of an extrovert. You're more likely to kind of talk to people, share more, and obviously the more you drink, the more it fucking increases, and you just fucking, I was going to say, end up sharing too much. I don't have any examples. I'm going to quickly roll that back. I am becoming an extrovert. This is what happens in this podcast. I've become the extrovert by having beer.
I was going to say, clearly you think no one's listened to the first season of the Lager Logs.
But it's just Mad's character. Tommy? No.
I thought you were speaking to me then.
Yeah. Aye, what was Mads Mikkelsen's character name again? Was it Tommy?
I'm going to check that right now for you.
Martin.
So,
it's Martin.
It's Martin.
Yes, because there's a Martin, Tommy, I think Nicholas, and yeah, I think Tommy's the gym teacher.
Yeah. As Peter as well, I think is the
yes, Peter's
that's the main four characters
yes.
Of the film.
Aye, Peter's the music teacher.
Yes. Yeah.
Mad Mikkelsen's character.
It's philosophy.
Is like a history?
Yeah, kind of history, philosophy, kind of is what he delves into. And then the Thomas Bo Larson character, Tommy, he's the PE teacher.
Yes, and the youngest one, who I think is Nicholas.
Peter. Oh, Nicholas, Peter. Yeah.
Aye. What was it? I can't remember him ever teaching a class. He always seemed to be floating. He was always hanging about the corridors. He's that rogue pupil that Disney sits still.
He was one of the, those ones that you'd be in school and those students from years ago would come back and go, "Oh, how you doing, guys?"
Yeah, or it's like, you taking a ticky slip to the school office, didn't he? Didn't he do that? That's the guy that hangs out about on the stairwells and threatens to batter you.
Those people the students always come back. They'd be like, wanting to impress everyone that was still a kid there or still a student there, and they'd be like, "Yeah, I really enjoy my time here. I'm unemployed at the moment, but
college life. Look at me doing wheelies on my bike."
I'm 35. I haven't yet used the degree that I earned. That I, slaved over for 5 years. I'm working in the co-op, but guys, don't quit on your dreams. You know what I mean? Keep hanging on in there. Yeah. They were always great. I feel like I need to return to my secondary school now after saying that. But I think the main or a big part of the reason why the film works is the chemistry between the four leads.
Actors. Yeah.
Yeah. And you can kind of tell that they kind of know each other beyond the set. And I was kind of reading earlier, and there was some kind of drinking between the four in terms of preparation, or when they weren't filming, when they were kind of offset, kind of getting stuff ready. But there was like a lot of preparation that went into the film. They monitored like speech and kind of how your movements changed when you were drunk.
You've had a couple,
when you had a few, yeah. So there was, there is some kind of scientific fact behind.
Let's see. I'll air quotes. Research was put into this.
Research, yeah, like the research that I did last night for today, and like the research I do, every night before we record. I want to be prepared. You know what I mean? Stu? Have to be.
Of course. I appreciate that.
But yeah, an interesting fact that I was reading today earlier was that the film was based on a play that the director had wrote.
All right.
and it was came from his daughter, and it was pretty much just accumulated from drinking stories and kind of drinking culture within the Danish youth. But unfortunately, his daughter passed away. She was killed in a car accident.
Fuck's sake.
As I think, pretty much as soon as production started, or as soon as filming started, and that's who it's dedicated to at the end of the film.
Yeah.
And apparently, the script was a lot darker than it turned out to be, and they changed it to be a bit more kind of uplifting and life affirming, and be a bit more kind of sunnier in general in its kind of outlook on kind of the material, the kind of booze based material. But I think that's a good thing that the film does, is that it kind of shows both sides of the coin in terms of the power of alcohol, the good and the bad, the light and the dark, the fine line between, you know, joy and sorrow that's easily crossed over.
Definitely,
you know?
because that's it. The first half of the film is all sort of played for laughs.
Yeah.
Like, sure, when Mad's character starts having a couple little swigs, I think it was like vodka before his lessons, and then he just starts obviously changing his teaching style, starts engaging with his pupils more, and like how he tricks them all into like sort of sympathizing for Hitler or choosing Hitler in a situation of, right, do you want to be the guy that has X amount of what was it, heart attacks, does this, that, and the next thing, and the only person that leads that seems like the most simple, nicest life turns out to be Adolf Hitler, and they're just like, oh man, we just got schooled, what the fuck. Like wee elements like that, where it's like, this is it. He's coming to life. He's got his 0.05 alcohol level, and it's working. And when the other character sees him doing it, it's like, oh fuck, it works. This theory actually has some ground to it. Let's all try it. And you've got that just great shot of like the PE teacher Tommy out there with like the wee sports bottle, just occasionally scooshing, and all the kids are like. Specs has left his bottle of water at home. Could Specs get a drink of your water? No, he fucking can't.
Yeah, I really liked the kind of interaction he had with that character, the little kid. I thought it was really one of the kind of sweet moments of the film, which there is a lot of in that first half. You know, it's very funny, very sweet, and I wouldn't say the film drops the ball after the first half. So what I will say is I find the second half of the film less intriguing and a bit of a come down from the first hour. But within the context of being drunk and the hangover that comes after it, the sobering second portion of the film kind of makes sense and works from that angle. So I think the first time viewing it, there was a clear kind of drop in terms of how much fun I was having with it, but kind of stepping away from it.
Second half sobers you up.
Yeah, and I think stepping away from it and viewing the film kind of outside the context of, you know, physically sitting there and watching it and kind of thinking about it, it really, you know, works. It's a really smart maneuver on the in terms of how the filmmakers decided to you know, put that on film, or how they decided to kind of you know, play with that notion of the hangover after being drunk.
Definitely. Now, I was a big fan of the sequence where they chose to drink. What was it? I think it was like the third act of their because they were documenting their progress through doing this experiment. And the one day they decide, let's try and get our maximum fucking alcohol blood levels. Like, let's just get absolutely smashed. And they're making the concoction. Now, do you remember what it was? It was like absinthe.
Yep.
That's the only part I remember. But they were covering the tumbler, the insides of the tumbler with this absinthe. And also that was always kind of like the fabled deadliest drink you could drink.
Yeah.
Like, you can't have that. That will absolutely fucking destroy you if you drink that.
Yeah, Mads' character is a bit tentative in terms of you know, jumping in
He's on the
at the
tightrope, that
deep end.
fine line of
Yeah,
I really should spend time with my family and kind of fix things or maintain this good role that we've got
yeah.
going. But man, you are having such a good time. I'm absolute full on getting my FOMO. Okay.
That's when it all goes wrong,
Yeah,
that
and
night.
look,
That's
they've got
kind of
those cool ass ice cubes where it's just like a fucking bowling ball in a whiskey tumbler. And look at they've got like orange peel and they're wiping the top of the glass. How could you not go, fine, I'll have one, and you have six?
that's how it always goes, dude. That's how it always goes. That scene's amazing. That's kind of the where the film kind of veers from kind of funny and light
Yes, that's it,
into
kind of hitting its peak of like
yeah,
where you think, oh man, this is probably the only point they would market if it was like made for like an American audience. Like
yeah.
this is the most we could compare it to, like The Hangover,
Mm,
because I feel like, oh, this is one of these brilliant concepts. Great thing, like great cast. Is probably maybe going to get some awards attention. Well, not I mean awards season attention, like
yeah,
nominations at least.
yeah.
And it's like, man, that's probably prime picking for like an American remake.
Oh, 100%. I think it
And
was even though it was in lockdown when it was released. I think in Denmark it had a huge opening weekend. It was like
mhm,
the best performing drama in years.
yeah,
And I think you can't that can't happen without there being some attention from America
aye,
and the thoughts or the notion of possible remake. But
mhm,
yeah, I just think because because this film's kind of European and it's Danish. I think it's always
yeah.
interesting to see a film from a country that you don't really. I know personally, I don't see a lot of
No, me
film
either.
from this side of the world, and it's really interesting to kind of see it and kind of see Denmark on film. It looks beautiful, and it's got this very interesting edge to it in terms of the cinematography. But yeah, and I just think it's got a lot of heart to it and a lot of soul to it,
Yeah,
and I'd hate to see it kind of remade and kind of lose a little bit of
it
what
gets
makes it
turned into like
special.
it gets marketed as like The Hangover.
Yeah, which
It's like, all
it's
right, okay, what's the connection? Booze. Don't leave it. Like, try and maintain some integrity. But
yeah,
we could
yeah.
also just enjoy the original product. Like,
Definitely. I mean, and
because
that's kind of what that's what it is. It's kind of well, that's not what it is. It is in terms of like it's not a kind of a comedy. It's comedic and it has funny parts, but it's
yes,
mostly like a drama that has a really has a lot to say
it's a
about
warning
kind
for the
of
middle-aged.
it is. It's pretty much a midlife crisis on film. I
Exactly.
think the
Like,
way it's
Mad's character is like, it's not a loveless marriage, but it's obviously he's gotten well into the marriage now. They're
yeah.
kind of settled into things. They both work. They hardly talk to each other. The kids are teenagers. They're probably glued to their phones, wanking in their rooms, so they never see them. The only like he's lost the buzz at work. The only time he's happy is when he's getting pissed with his pals. And like you could probably like the amount of people that might relate to that fucking story.
Yeah, no, of course, of course. I
But
think it's kind of got a universal message, though. I think it's about living life to the fullest and not losing the sense of your kind of real self and embracing your faults.
mhm,
And I think the characters obviously achieve this revelation, this revelation by
mhm,
seeing both their life at its craziest
yep,
and their life at its dullest.
mhm,
And I think
and
that's how they make the progress they do kind of in
aye,
film.
and that's it. Like the fine line of people really like me when I'm drunk, and it's like maybe you should, but you can't be drunk all the time. Like when Mads thinks like where he
Why
goes
not?
canoeing, he becomes spontaneous and starts doing all these things like, oh, where have you been? I've not seen you for years. And I was like, oh man, this is like a genie in a bottle. I need to fucking
Yeah.
drink to become this person that people like.
Mm,
But I tell you, that sequence where they're all getting pissed on absence, and the
incredible.
family man, also the guy with 3 kids and the stunning blonde wife, like remembers, I've got to go shopping. Like she was
Yeah.
saying something like, okay, you could do your silly drinking thing, but I need fresh cods. That's not a double entendre. That's shopping. Get the shopping.
That
And it
scene when they're in the
cuts to them
supermarket's incredible. Yeah.
they're falling over and going,
It's
fresh cod. It's like, no, we've only got frozen, but it's in season. We cut to
so
them fishing. And I was like,
so
this is
good.
brilliant.
I think the scene that made me the most uncomfortable was when the guy that you were talking about, the youngest fella,
Family man.
Peter, yeah, no, Nicholas,
Nicholas.
and he returns home.
Oh, yes, the full circle.
Full circle.
Yes,
You
where
know,
he's
that's what he was talking about at the beginning, kind of complaining about in the beginning, then he does it himself when he's pissed up and
exactly.
completely just.
That was a good chuckle. Like
I don't want to spoil it, but that
exactly. We'll not try and give too much away because definitely I highly encourage people to watch this film.
yeah,
But there's some wonderful moments where it's just like the irony of like what comes around goes around.
so good. Yeah, I
And
really love
like,
that montage of pissed up politicians as well.
oh
During
yeah, the wee montage, and
yeah,
you
that
see
was
fucking
amazing.
Boris with a pint.
Yeah, it was incredible. It was really, really good. It was not, it was nothing like too on the nose as well. That's what I like about it. It seems kind of, it's got a kind of a very even hand. Um, it's not like, oh, alcohol will do this to you, or
Yeah.
it shows both sides of the coin, which I like. And that montage, it's kind of light and it's just funny, and it just kind of really it really fits the film.
So I guess we can't divulge much into the third act.
I wouldn't want to. I mean, I think it's still. I mean, it's pretty much making the rounds now. The film is over here, and I think it's available on streaming now.
Right.
On a few at a few places. So I would really recommend it to people. Wouldn't want to spoil
Yeah.
it for anybody. But yeah, the third act, it gets dark.
Mhm.
It gets a bit sad, but
Definitely.
it definitely is worth it, and it kind of makes its way out of that second half, and it really does kind of leave you with feeling of joy, definitely, and
Yeah,
Mads
the
gets
the
to
last
use his
the last fucking 3 minutes
yeah, it just
was
comes
just
it comes out of nowhere. Again, I don't really want to say
aye,
anything, but it comes out of nowhere. If
absolutely.
you know of Mad's background, then you might have a guess as to what kind of happens, but
Right,
because there is footage on YouTube of Mads in
right.
his early days
That's
doing kind of what he does
off
best.
the chain.
Yeah, it's amazing. He basically sits a guy down and basically whips his balls from underneath.
All right, okay. I was thinking something
It's
else, but aye,
oh oh.
yeah,
I just
but
thought I'd let people know what they're getting into. Oh, I
yeah, aye, but
think I was on the wrong
definitely
site
it
earlier.
wasn't what I was expecting. Like, how is this film going to end? Like, we get a third act, and then kind of get your conclusion, and
Yeah,
then it just erupts.
little bonus.
Yeah, and you're just, and it kind of feels like, right, send the audience home happy, make them smile before you hit them with the end credits.
Yeah, I'll be really
Like,
interested to kind of how it was initially, like how it was the kind of the more dark original
that
script, or the kind of original
it could have
plot.
been. Sorry to interrupt you, but it could have been like completely exactly what it was, apart from the last 3 minutes where like Mad shows up, and is like, hey, like Thomas, could I just like do a little bit of improvisation at the end? Like, just want to sit down on the bench and kind of say the last line. I just wanted to just the wee thing after it. It's like, hey, yeah, sure, run with it. You're mad, go for it. And then he just delivers and like, right, okay, fuck, okay, fair enough.
You're saying that was completely unscripted, yeah?
That was improv. Like he just felt the moment and went off on one and just I was just because just the way the scene set with all the students, they're all necking their Carlsberg and their Heineken, and obviously I'm watching this like we're drinking Carlsberg this week.
Drinking Carlsberg, shout
I
out.
better fucking see some Carlsberg in this film because
I
these
thought
guys
you
are.
were going to say you want to be dancing at the end of your.
It's just like they're
At the end
necking
of your
like
Carlsberg.
vodka, they're drinking whiskey, they're drinking absinthe. It's like, man, beer's taking a back seat in this movie.
Yeah.
Thankfully, there comes the students by the truckloads, necking their heinies and their fucking Carlsberg, and like, there it is.
We do get
There's
that one image of Mads taking out the recycling, and he
yes,
holds up I think 3 bottles of Carlsberg in a pretty unnatural way.
that
I mean,
should have been like
I think he got away with
fourth
it, but
wall wink
yeah,
to the camera.
yeah, I think he got away with it. But I looked at it, I was like, some reason I fancy a Carlsberg now. But yeah, man, it's like you were saying, I think that it does come out of nowhere, but it really works within the context of the film. I
Yes.
think the journey that you've been on with the characters, I think it culminates in a pretty satisfying ending, for sure. But I honestly, no negatives at all that I can think of in terms of
Oh, nah. Like,
in
yeah,
terms of
it's
the
a
overall.
2-hour jaunt, but
Yeah, and I think that probably makes the drop in terms of the fun a bit more obvious. It's
aye.
very, very much so a film of kind of, two halves. But I think if you stick with it, I think it really turns out to be, overall, a fantastic piece of cinema.
Aye.
And yeah, I think I like the fact that it seems almost kind of timeless as well. It's not like a big reliance on kind of newer technology, or it all just seems to me like kind of pretty classic in the way that it's just about kind of 4 friends,
Yeah.
four friends at school doing this kind of experiment. And there's a few kind of modern day flourishes, like some of the texting and stuff, but I feel like it's done really well. It's not too distracting.
Yeah.
Like it's really well done, and it's possibly maybe just the kind of that small town kind of cozy vibe that where the film takes place. Maybe that what kind of gave me that vibe of it being a bit more kind of old school and a bit kind of timeless. But I really like that about the film. And again, and as I say, it was great to just see kind of a different country on film that I don't often get to see.
No, definitely. And if this film ends like how every Danish film ends, I'm in. I'm going to find The Hunt, and if The Hunt has a similar ending, fucking yes.
I don't know with that poster art, man. I don't think it does, but I would be very happy if it did.
Yep.
All right, man. I think we've
reviewed a film.
I think we've just managed to review a film. I don't know how we did it. You and me together.
It wasn't quite a beer fest, but we've done one.
Yeah, we somehow managed to pull that out of the bag. I think that's it, man. Unless you had anything else you'd like to add.
No.
Brilliant. So I think that's a thumbs up from both of us. And yeah, I'm, as you were saying, I'm looking forward to kind of watching it again and kind of introducing it to people. And yeah, as far as I know, it is on iTunes at the moment. I will double check that before I send people off on a wild goose chase. Possibly, it's on the US store.
Looking forward to like a home release, like when it gets to like
definitely
around to getting a Blu-ray. Like,
yeah, I don't think it's
they'd
actually
be interested in some decent special features, maybe some. I don't know, like maybe an audio commentary with the main 4 actors having a little drink.
That'd be amazing. Yeah, at the moment, I don't think it's available on
maybe not in the
UK store.
We can't reveal our sources, but
we're
maybe. I won't say we're part of the academy, but
we're It's available on the US store, so our US listeners go and check that out. It's available, and I'm hoping obviously soon it'll get a proper UK release, whether that be digital or physical, but hopefully very, very soon. But yeah, that's all that we have to say about the film. How's your beer? Oh, how you getting on with your beer, dude? What you reckon? It's gone.
It's gone. It was such a nice, smooth, crisp drink. It was just effortless. Just put away the 660 ml without a passing thought.
Oh man, I mean I think this is one of the nicest kind of pilsners I've had, and I think if you put off on pilsners that you've had in the past, I would definitely check this out. I think it's really good, nice kind of flavor to it, as you were saying, crisp, hits the spot. It's not as light as other lagers, but I think it's just really nice in terms of. A nice wholesome beer to enjoy by the fireside.
Sure.
Right. So, I just want to say, before we kind of sign off, is that I think we both do, dude, is thank you to the listeners and thank you to our followers over on social media. It's been really busy lately, right, Stu? What's been happening?
It's been taking off. We've had our little beer hawk competition. It's been nice. We've gotten, I think, at least maybe over 50 entries on that, where people tagging, liking posts, leaving us questions. I mean, we've been given so many questions that we could pick apart in our second season. I am really chuffed with the feedback we've received. So if anyone wants to kind of catch up, if they aren't following us on social media already, it is at the Lagerlogs, and that works for both Instagram and Twitter. Obviously, feel free to interact with us on either of those. But obviously, we had such a great time with our competition, we forgot to fucking choose a winner. So let's do it.
Maybe we should do it now. Yeah?
Okay. So, Tom, with that Word document I sent you with all those wonderful questions.
Oh, you're giving the game away now, dude. There should be a little bit mystique to it. We should have like a Wheel of Fortune.
Oh no, something. They use Microsoft Word. What the fuck?
Sellouts.
Okay, Tom. I have generated the number. Who asked the question? The 16th question.
Yep. You about to say something else?
No.
Okay.
Like, number 16.
There was no drum roll. I got confused.
My production value on the Lagerlogs.
Number 16.
Yes.
So our competition winner is Joanne Thomas 2859.
Oh.
Woo!
There we go.
Well done,
Joanne. I'm pretty sure you will not be listening to this, but I will contact you regardless.
If you're, if you're sweet 16, then you're not allowed to drink. So we might have to keep the beers ourselves. What do you think, Stu?
Completely. Aye, fuck them.
Not legal. It's not legal. I know. So sorry to kind of end the show in such a depressing manner, but that's just, I care more about the law than I do fun. What's that?
Until next time.
So thank you to Joanne. I hope that is your first name. I'm assuming it is. Well done. We will contact you, get that sent out to you. And yeah, guys, so season 2 is launching soon. We're all ready to go. We thought we'd record something tonight as a little snack before the main meal, an entree, if you will, just to whet the appetite. Hope everyone has had a gay old time or a young heterosexual time. Both beautiful. The Lagerlogs supports getting pissed up at any age or sexual orientation. And we will see you for season 2 and more beer-related fun times. Adios, Pilsner Pirates. Say goodbye, Stu.
Bye-bye, Stu. That was good until you done that fucking
Was that dramatic
laugh.
enough? Did you like that?